Hello and welcome to the Redbrick Football Podcast. We're currently recording during the Huddersfield Wigan game, and it's 1-0 to the mighty Wigan as we speak. Today I am joined by Alex.
Hello.
Nathan.
Hey.
Harry.
Hiya.
Brad.
Hello.
And Nicola, who is about to leave actually, inconveniently. But say hello anyway, Nicola.
Hello.
Hello. Right, this week we found out that Steven Gerrard retired. So I'd like to know from each of you, who would you retire from your club if you could force someone to retire?
For me, it'd have to be Mertesacker. He's just so slow and there's such a liability in our defence whenever he plays. I think I'd honestly rather play Aaron Ramsey, possibly even Santi Cazorla, centre-back ahead of him. So yeah, Mertesacker for me.
All right, Nathan?
It's a tough one, but I'd probably just go with Schweinsteiger, just to basically put him out of his misery now. So, yeah.
For me, most people would probably expect a Hall, but no, it's Ali Sissoko. Because he's just the worst football player in the world.
That's a good enough reason, I guess.
That's justified. Brad?
I was going to go with Marouane Fellaini, because he's one of the most frustrating people, not just players. But I've sort of narrowed it down to actually Phil Jones, because he's a walking injury bed. Like, he spends more time in the recovery room than he does on the pitch. And when he comes on the pitch, I think I'd rather him be in the recovery room.
Interesting. Okay.
Harsh.
All right, we can debate that
He's not gonna
further
play
later. Nicola, who would you retire from Northampton?
I wouldn't retire in it. We've got such a young squad, and they're just learning how to play football. Our two strikers are the two oldest members of the team, and Rico has had quite a lot of injuries over the past 2 years. So if it had to be anyone, it'd be him. But he's our captain, so I don't want him to go.
Okay. I was going to say Will Grigg, because I'm tired of the chant and no goals. But having watched the first half of the Huddersfield Wigan game, I want to say Jääskeläinen, because he doesn't catch anything. Let's start with Chelsea Spurs. It finished 2-1 to Chelsea, and it was a fairly good result for Chelsea in a tight London derby. Eriksen opened the scoring for Tottenham with a pretty good goal. What do you think of that?
Yeah,
it was a great goal. Came completely out of the blue. I mean, Spurs looked on the front foot, but regardless of that, I was watching it live, and the goal just it just happened before your eyes, and you're just like, oh, bloody hell, like wow. But I think Chelsea did very well to get back into the game. Spurs had quite a hold on it for quite a while.
Yeah, it was a worthy goal to break, the
601 minutes.
601 minutes that Chelsea had gone without conceding before Eriksen. One of the more unlikely scorers, given that was his first Premier League goal of the season after 39 attempts. Chelsea turned it around though with goals from Pedro and Victor Moses. Victor Moses looks like a much improved and very differently positioned player.
Future Barcelona player as well.
Future Barcelona player. Interesting.
Wow. Believe the rumours.
Yeah. So Chelsea managed to win again, but do we think this was more a case of Chelsea playing well or Tottenham not quite playing as they should have done?
Very difficult question.
Yeah,
it is because Tottenham came out very well. I feel like for the first 35 minutes they dominated. They exposed the centre of the park very, very well with 3 men in the centre versus Chelsea 2. They seemed to exploit that in the first 35 minutes very well. And on the back of Eriksen's goal, I couldn't see Chelsea coming through. But then, through the use of their wing-backs again, with this new system, they seem to use the width better after the first 35 minutes and come out on top after that.
All right, does anyone share my love for Moussa Dembele?
Yes, I think he's actually probably one of the most criminally underrated players in the Premier League. I think he's actually, if you look at the amount of times he shrugs off an opponent just so easily, I highly rate him, and that's as an Arsenal fan. I do think he has got a lot of ability.
Yeah, I agree with you. never gets tackled, does he?
No.
He just has his strength is more based on his balance.
Yeah,
I
his
think
balance is
it's
amazing.
just unbelievable, and his technical ability is just he just can't get tackled.
Yeah.
I love the definition criminally.
Criminally underrated.
Yeah, I think that's spot on.
Yeah. Brad, you wrote a piece for the paper about Chelsea's new system. Do you want to tell us why it's working so well and whether you think it worked effectively in this game?
Well, as I said before, I don't think it worked well in the first 35 minutes because Tottenham had 3 men in midfield, and so they were playing through the middle quite well. But Chelsea's strength really seems to be the fact that the dynamicism of their wing backs. I said that wrong, didn't I?
And Huddersfield scored, and Huddersfield have equalised. Aaron Moy.
I
Yeah.
didn't realise why everyone was
A thoroughly deserved equaliser.
no one was liking the point, and then
Yeah.
We're all grimacing.
currently.
yeah, that's literally that.
Yeah, this is a good finish.
Oh, lovely.
If you're not watching the Huddersfield Wigan game while listening to this, we sincerely apologise because you'll have no idea what's going on.
Mackie Wells assist.
Yeah, no, it
That's
is
very
indeed 1-1 now. Brad, you were telling us about the dynamicism
Yes,
of the Chelsea wing backs.
the wing backs get back and forward so well, especially Moses. The revolution of him under Conte is unbelievable. So obviously that means in defence they have 5, going forward they have 3, which means that the front 3, the weekend was Pedro, Hazard and Costa. They have so much of a free rein, interchanging all the time. They don't have to track back, and I think that's the true strength of this formation and the style. Obviously, you've got the defensive solidity, but the fact that a player like Hazard knows that he can do whatever he wants with the ball and have little to no repercussions, even if it goes wrong, I think that is why they're reaping the benefits and scoring so many goals. Not only keeping clean sheets, but scoring a lot of goals and creating a lot of chances.
All right, so we think that Victor Moses is much improved under Conte, but Alex, you don't like Marcus Alonso.
I think he's doing well. He's a very defensive sort of player to put in that system to play. If you're looking at, say, if it's depending on whether it's a 3-5-2 or a 5-3-2 or it's a 3-4-3 technically, isn't it? Because if Alonso's playing as a left midfielder, then I don't think he's actually that good at playing left midfield. I think he's good at defending. I think he's reasonably mobile, which helps in that system. But I think if you look at what Moses is achieving, come from relative obscurity, really. I think that kind of shows what sort of player they would require on the left-hand side as well. Someone with a bit more pace, a bit more trickery. But yeah.
Is there such player there?
David Alaba would be obviously slightly unattainable, but probably the best player in the world to play that position.
All right, you say relative obscurity, but Victor Moses is, of course, a Wigan legend.
Yeah.
How long did he play for Wigan?
A season or 2. Yeah, not very long. Just long enough to help us beat Liverpool, though. Right, I'm going to talk about a game that I never expected would be second in our running order, and that is Swansea Crystal Palace, which ended 5-4. Does anyone want to have a go at explaining what on earth happened in this game?
All the goals were just terrible, weren't they?
Yeah.
Just
It was like a
awful goals.
Sunday League match played on a Premier League pitch with Premier League players. And just some of the goals, like some of the defending on set pieces was horrific from both sides. It wasn't even like they were good.
amateur.
It wasn't even the attacking was good from the set pieces. It was just simply that neither team could defend from corners.
Am I right in thinking that Christian Benteke was at fault for several of the goals?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
defensively,
yeah.
I remember when he was at Villa, there was a case, people picking on him for, he's just terrible at marking the corners and stuff. But, I don't know, should a striker be.
Andy Carroll does a pretty good job.
I know, but like
What
it's
he
more of a
plays.
speciality thing. I don't know if it's like right to sort of pick on a
Pick up
striker.
for that,
For,
yeah.
You know, you wouldn't pick on a defender for missing loads of chances and not
Yeah.
scoring.
Yeah, but I think that it's got to be said as well. When your team is 4-3 up and you've been behind 3-1, you come back and you might not be a defender, but you know what defensive duties are.
Like
And
you
just simple mistakes, just getting rid of the ball. You know, they're 4-3 up with 2 minutes to go. To lose 5-4, it's scandalous, to be honest.
Yeah.
It looked like sort of lapses in concentration from certain players. And what I wanted to ask was, can you blame Alan Pardew for that? Or is that more a fault of the actual players?
Well,
They've changed the players, haven't they? They've only got 5 wins in 37 Premier League games now. In the last 37, obviously.
but it'd be interesting to see like what Pardew's reaction was after Benteke scored that fourth. Like, it'd be interesting to see what he was doing.
Yeah.
Was he just celebrating,
Doing that
like,
dance.
doing that dance?
Yeah.
Or was he like, pointing to his temple, like switch on,
Yeah.
we need to win. It'd be very interesting to see how he was.
Do we think Alan Pardew has much chance of keeping his job now?
Yeah, I still do.
Yeah,
For some reason. I don't know
yeah.
why. I just think, I don't know, they're still...
It's
They've
just
got
that
good
thing.
players. They've got
Yeah.
a team capable. Me and Harry were saying yesterday, they've got a team on paper capable of finishing sort of top 8, doing something similar to what West Ham did last year.
Yeah.
But I don't even look at the defence and think they've got a bad defence or anything. But they just seem to be leaking goals. I don't understand why. It's just... I think he'll still keep his job, and I think when they get one win again, like they have done before, they'll string a few together and they'll look okay and they'll get back to mid-table. But it's got to turn around soon because they've got some tough games, and conceding 5 away at Swansea, it's not great really.
Yeah, I think they've got Southampton and Hull coming up, so they're very big games for them. Is it because he's a bit of a cult hero figure around Crystal Palace?
I think that holds some weight, definitely. I think if you look at a lot of ex-pros that have played at the club they're managing, the sort of romantic idea of it allows them a bit more time in the role. But I think eventually, if it's just a consistent, if they lose week after week, I don't think there's going to be any sort of romanticism around that. I think
getting to the cup final helped them as well.
Yeah.
You can see that still had an impact, and it was a great day out for them. I'll say that, knowing that I was there, that the Palace fans, they might have lost the game, but they beat us in terms of the fans and having a good day out, and I think they'll still live long in the memory for them. But, we all remember the dance, and that's great for us. So.
All right. Let's talk about Arsenal, because they managed a 3-1 win at home to Bournemouth, which is a fairly routine result for them. Sanchez got 2, Walcott scored a header. Alex, you're an Arsenal fan. Tell me about this game.
I mean, you just said it was a routine performance. It wasn't actually. I mean, in reality, it was very shaky for large parts of the game.
Routine result.
Routine
Bournemouth
result.
should have had a pen. A second
Arguably,
pen.
yes. I don't know. Well, you can make the argument for. I don't think it was a penalty. But
Just the handball.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a penalty
It was a
all day
penalty.
long. Yeah, it's a penalty.
This is a handball by Monreal, if you haven't seen it. We're debating.
but yeah,
Even Henri said it was humble.
well, that makes sense. Well,
Yeah,
he's like
he's a
spokesman
striker,
of
of
Arsenal.
course he would.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, the 3-1 sort of it flatters us slightly.
Yeah.
I don't think we deserve. I mean, you could argue we did really deserve to win that game. In large parts, we sort of
I think Arsenal did.
we had the most of the possession, but it doesn't
In
really
terms
matter.
of chances as well, I think.
Bournemouth looked good.
Bournemouth
I
had some great spells
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, I thought. I
They always
agree.
do though. They're a very, very
Yeah.
good team.
Yeah.
I do enjoy watching them.
Olivier Giroud came on as a substitute again in this game and got an assist. Do we think he made the impact that Arsene Wenger's looking
He killed the game off. So, in that respect, yeah. And that reverse pass was something that I'd never expect Giroud to do. I know he's quite good with his feet, but it was a sort of subtle combination of pace and sort of vision that I don't ever expect him to be able to sort of actually use. So yeah,
Alex, tell us how nice Alexis Sanchez is.
he is the nicest man ever. I mean, I think this is his first sort of public interview in English on Sky, and he just seems like such a nice player. He's just so happy that he got the win.
You said to me he's surely the most likeable player in the Premier League.
Yeah, and just in
His
terms of
overall-
his overall his work rate and his personality, the way he's just always sort of smiling, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And just the footballer he is, really.
And I'd argue he's Arsenal's best player.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably.
Yeah.
just shades Ozil.
Okay, we'll take a break and we'll come back and talk about Man United and Man City. Hi Nicola, would you like to tell us about the action from the lower leagues?
In the Championship, Villa won 3-1 at home against Cardiff. They sit in 11th on 25 points. They're now unbeaten in their last 14 home league games, and they've got 15 points in 7 games under Steve Bruce. Before that, they'd got 15 points in 27 league games. Birmingham also won away at Brentford 2-1. They sit in the playoffs in 4th on 31 points. Wolves lost at home to Sheffield Wednesday. Wolves have had 5 home league defeats out of 9 this year, and last season they had 6 in 25, so they are not on a good run at all. In League One, Coventry lost at home to MK Dons. You might have seen them in the news because some fans decided to have a funeral for their club because they still don't like their owners. So some dressed up in funeral attire and brought a coffin to the Ricoh Arena. They've lost 4 consecutive league games for the first time since March, which obviously isn't that long ago, but they have been very poor recently. Walsall drew 0-0 at home with Southend. They sit in 17th on 23 points. Southend still maintain their 7-year unbeaten record in November, having played 28, won 18 and drawn 10. Finally, Solihull played in the National League. They won 2-0 against North Ferriby United. They're 16th on 25 points.
They are constantly 16th.
Yes.
Solihull.
Yes, they are.
All right. Thanks very much, Nicola. We're back, and Wigan have restored their lead. It's now 2-1, so everyone's in great spirits here. But they won't be after we talk about Man United's 1-1 draw with West Ham. Nathan or Brad, either of you want to tell me about this game?
Where do I start? I'll sum it up with a lack of cutting edge, and it's not a one-off thing. It's been going on for a while now. Still seems to be a lack of confidence in the squad. Some of the issues will solve themselves, but I can't see us getting in the top 4 this season, and we will struggle to get higher than 5th, like 5th or higher if we play like that. I know like Randolph had a really good game for West Ham, but still there was a few chances like Rashford's that should have gone in, and you'd expect to be putting more than one past Randolph. The amount of talent we have in that squad should be doing more.
All right. That's a fairly damning assessment. Nathan, do you agree with that?
Yeah, generally speaking, I think when it comes to the finishing, it really is baffling. I mean, when we signed Ibrahimovic, you know, I guess what you're going to get, but people forget the amount of chances. I mean, he used to miss. I remember when we beat Inter Milan in Champions League quarter-final a number of years ago, and he came to Old Trafford and missed loads of easy chances. And when he does magic, you sort of forget the chances he misses, but he just misses quite a few. And it's not just him, though. You know, as Brad mentioned about Rashford's chance, we just don't seem to have confidence. There's either lazy finishing, I'm not sure what it is, but it's like this complacency. We think we're going to roll teams over, we're going to steamroll them. It doesn't happen. We go 1-0 down early, and it's just, even when you feel you're going to get back in the game, we somehow manage to, we're just playing like peaks and troughs. We play well for like 20 minutes, think, oh, it's going to go well, and then second half, faded into nothingness, to be honest, and West Ham could have stolen it at the end. And I wouldn't have begrudged the victory, to be honest. It was just another disappointing, very frustrating, me sat in my room screaming and my flatmates asking me what's going on. And that's the kind of afternoons I'm having to suffer week in, week out at the moment. As United legend Nick Powell was just
true legend as well,
entered the fray for Wigan. So, yeah. No, it's just a shame.
Back.
Unfortunately, I'm sort of having to agree that the top 4, it's not out of our reach, and points can go all over the place. Teams can go on bad runs. We could win the next 20 games. You know, you never know. It's whatever happens. But right now, there just seems to be something not quite right. Everything happens, and Mourinho blows his lid, and we can't control ourselves. He's getting suspended for kicking a water bottle. There just seems nothing going our way. And, yeah.
Did he avoid the post-game press conference again?
He did,
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I will say about Mourinho's bottle kicking and his antics. I mean, I'd actually like to open it up to everyone and see what they think. Do you think that he's being harshly picked on due to reputation? Because there seems to be a slight hypocrisy in the likes of Klopp and Conte are very passionate on the sidelines and so animated, and nothing seems to happen to them.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like Villa on Saturday, when we were 2-0, Cardiff had a corner sort of 5 minutes to go, and Steve Bruce literally he must have been about 30 yards out of the technical area. He was screaming. I think he was screaming at Bonlaw actually, get in here, get in here. And if Mourinho or someone had done something like that, it's like maybe he would have been penalised more. But I think it's, generally speaking, I think it's good because it shows their passion. They want to.
Yeah.
I remember Di Matteo. He'd be sitting in his seat, and it's just do you even care? Do you even want to attempt to influence the game? At least Mourinho.
We had that with Van Gaal last year.
Yeah.
In my opinion, in terms of Mourinho, I think the examples you brought up with Klopp and Conte, generally speaking, when they get animated, yes, obviously they'll get animated about refereeing decisions, but you saw Klopp on the weekend, it was about getting fans up for it. It's the same with Conte when they were 4-0 up against United. And, all you could hear was United fans, and he was trying to pump the fans up. Whereas Mourinho, when he kicks off, it seems to be about every refereeing decision. And he's had some fair cases this year where he's had a right to moan, no doubt about it. But with things like, the dive with Pogba, yeah, again, he has the right to moan. And again, kicking the water bottle, it's not really much of a thing. But there's this bitterness about every refereeing decision. It's going to kick up a fuss, and they are going to look out for it. It's the same with, Costa. As soon as Diego Costa does something, the referee's looking for it. And it's the same with Mourinho on the touchline, to be honest.
That's sort of what I'm trying to get at. Once you build a reputation for it, then it's going to be highlighted every time you do it.
Yeah, and some of the things I think that is harsh. It's the same with Rooney. Look at the stick he gets for every little, every misdemeanor. But he's not helping himself. It happens every game in, game out. Some form of controversy, and you just got to turn it down a notch, potentially.
The special one deserves special treatment, perhaps.
What do you mean? Come on, what do you mean?
Special treatment, as in, the idea that he sort of is looked at differently by referees and by the media. Is very different.
I will say, I don't think he helps himself.
No.
With a lot of his actions, and a lot of what he does seems to play in the role that he almost has been given, but also kind of wants to assume himself, because he does kind of create a club mentality of it's us against everyone else.
Yeah.
Everything goes against us. We have to beat them. We have to prove ourselves. Stuff like that.
Yeah, I think he has this sort of idolisation of him, this sort of reputation. He wants to fulfil it. I think he enjoys people seeing him that way. And if he tones it down too much, I think he fears that he'll lose that reputation of the special one.
All right, across Manchester, City managed to do what United couldn't and win this weekend away at Burnley. Actually, that's not across Manchester at all, is it? That's at Burnley. Aguero scored twice, just as I decided not to captain him in my fantasy team. But so, do we think that City have the cutting edge that United lack currently?
I could just start by saying they didn't have Tom Heaton in at Burnley, so that's I think that's.
Who did they
But
have
Robinson.
instead?
Poor Robinson.
He made a worldly save though, first.
It was actually a great save.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And to be fair, the goals weren't his fault whatsoever. Just kamikaze defending, which was quite shambolic. But yeah, I think City have they've definitely got more about them than we do for this season. There's no doubt about that. But I'm not entirely convinced about them. I know quite a few City fans are frustrated with the rotation, and I would be as well, especially in defence. I think that's the problem. You want to get a partnership at the back which is settled, and he keeps dropping stones or dropping Otamendi and playing Kolarov there. You want a settled back four. The rest of them, I understand the rotation policies. You've got quite a few competitions, but the back four is something that you want to know that you've got really settled and they can work together as a defensive unit. But generally speaking, they definitely have a lot more going for them than United do this season, no doubt about it.
Yeah, they seem to be missing that consistent spine that they had a few years ago. Obviously, they've still got Aguero.
The Mancini spine.
Yeah, the Mancini spine, which I think is important for every title-winning team. You always remember there's that spine.
Yeah.
I have to be of the opinion as well that you don't actually have to play well all season to be a title-winning team.
Yeah.
When you look at Pellegrini's title win as City manager, it was, I mean, to be honest, that was the season when Liverpool almost won it. But if you look at that in terms of like how the season went, I mean, Man City were not consistently good for the whole season.
Yeah.
Neither were they in the 2011-12 season. They seem to be getting enough points on the board in tricky games for me. I think they are my title contenders, my title winning team.
Yeah, same.
Put them above Chelsea this year.
Yeah.
For the 38 games of the season. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Burnley away is a pretty tricky game for a lot of teams. So yeah.
They're very good, Burnley. Actually, I watched them again and I was impressed. They really stick to their task, but they're quite adventurous going forward. And I think I might have to revise my opinion because I was definitely convinced they were going to go down, but they look all right.
Good unit.
Yeah.
Are they still in the top half?
I think just below.
Yeah, I think so.
11th,
Okay.
12th maybe.
Liverpool managed a 2-0 win at home to Sunderland, but it came at the price of a Coutinho injury. It sounds like he'll be out until January now. So they still managed to score twice without him, and it just looks like they have unlimited scoring options in their team. This week it was Divock Origi and a James Milner penalty. Do we think that they could go all the way, or is their defence going to hold them back, despite a clean sheet this weekend?
Yeah, can't see them finishing above City or Chelsea.
Yeah, over the course of 38 games, I think it's more the fact that injuries are inevitable. Things like that will always happen, and when you remove your creative spirit of Coutinho really from the team, they're going to eventually find goals harder to come by in away games, perhaps, where the opposition are playing much better than Sunderland did.
What makes it worse is that they've lost Lallana as well. I'm not sure how long he's out for, but when it
it's
mounts up like that, it really does get better.
It could get worse as well.
Yeah.
Who knows? For the next few weeks.
Yeah. But I think defensively, though, I know it's a clean sheet against Sunderland, so it's not much about raving. It's not much to rave home about. However, we have a go at Liverpool's defence because they seem to concede, generally speaking, in most games, but they win 6-1 or 4-1. But Matip's been phenomenal signing. Looks really composed, good at the back. Brings the best
transfer as well.
Yeah,
that's the best thing about him, really, isn't it?
It's great, and he brings the best out of Lovren as well.
Yeah.
Klein looks good, even Milner's slotting in at left back. Like it pains me to say this, and I still don't think they're going to win the league, no chance. But they look like a good unit right now.
They'll be right up there, no matter what.
I still don't think they're winning.
Help if carriers
No,
stop
probably not.
putting goal kicks out for corners.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is.
I heard someone suggest that because Sunderland was sitting so far back, it was all a ploy to get them to have a corner so they could then counter it.
Jeez.
That's a tinfoil hat.
All right, some other results in the league this weekend. Leicester drew 2-2 at home to Middlesbrough. Really struggling are the reigning Premier League champions. Is there a slight concern that they could get relegated?
Yep. You asked the question last week, and I think I said the same thing. And I don't see how you can say no to that threat now. The same way that we said, eventually we were like, I don't know how you can write off their title chances. I don't know how you can write off them going down. They're not playing particularly well in the Premier League. They can keep losing. It's away from home and seem inconsistent at home. The only goals they seem to score are penalties. So I'm not fully confident. I still think they'll stay up, but I don't think they can safely say they're not in a relegation battle. And I think Ranieri's admitted that this weekend as well.
Did, I was about to say. But then last year, he did sort of...
He never said
Right,
that.
Mark
played
Bates.
hope first
Yeah,
all season,
yeah.
didn't he, really, in terms of
Champions League winners and
ambitions.
relegated in the same season.
Yeah, do we think they could do the impossible and win the Champions League?
The thing is, like, everyone's figured them out in the Premier League, but no one's figured them out in Europe.
Well, they seem a completely different team in Europe. It's incredible. They were so good in that first half.
I don't think their competition is that good in Europe, to be fair. I think they got possibly the easiest group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By virtue of being a top seed.
But I still think when it comes to Champions League, I'm not saying you win it by luck, but they have two knockout rounds. You never know who they're going to get. They could get a lucky draw, and then
I think no one's going to want to play them because that counter-attacking style.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
We've seen it with Chelsea when they won the Champions League. They sat back and played a similar-ish style, and teams like Bayern Munich, they don't like it.
They're an unknown
They do
quantity.
not like
That's
it.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see.
I think knockout football definitely suits them.
Yeah.
All right, Hull drew 1-1 at home to West Brom.
Classic affair.
Yeah.
They play each other every week.
Watford lost at home to Stoke, and Southampton managed a 1-0 win at home to Everton, which was quite an impressive result actually for Southampton. Another very good defensive performance. Completely neutralised Romelu Lukaku and
Josh Sims.
Josh Sims
okay,
is
we
very
can talk about
It's
him.
strange. Everton
Magical debut.
have seemed to go from like an average team overachieving to like a decent team underachieving.
Underachieving.
Yeah.
On paper, definitely, they're like
Yeah.
a top six, aren't they? But they just don't seem to have the sort of stability that Koeman had at Southampton. I think he's yet to sort of install that mentality in that system, really.
Well, apart from Lukaku, no one's really been firing. Barkley has done pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
And in their system, their two wingers, Balassi or Lennon.
Aaron Lennon's got virtually no end product anyway.
A lot of luxury players and not much quality at the end of the day.
They don't produce much when push comes to shove, really.
It's going to be a classic when we face them next weekend, that's for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, it was not a happy return to
Barkley
St
will turn
Mary's for Ronald Koeman. All right, I think that's just about all we've got time for. Thank you, everyone. You heard from Nathan, Harry, Brad, Alex, and myself, Dan, and we will be back next week.